The day has finally come where we move on from the IKEA LINNMON gaming setups, possibly forever. I don't think we'll ever be coming back to these because I don't even think they make these tabletops anymore. It's been a wild ride, man. I've been using the same tabletops, first in black for about 5 years, I think, and then in white for another 5 years. Crazy. I'll put up a little montage of all the different gaming setups we've built using this tabletop. So we are finally going to be upgrading and literally rebuilding my entire gaming setup here with a brand new table from a company called Vernal, who sent me not only just new tabletops, but brand new table legs, fully electronic as well. Yo, look how high this goes, with substantially better build quality than the, you know, hollow cardboard IKEA LINNMON tabletops that we're using right now. And they have these cabinets which I've temporarily placed in this part of the room, but they look absolutely phenomenal. They're soft close. I've got all my camera equipment stored in this one. They're genuinely really nice. The final shutdown. This is it, man. Salvage the LED strip. Now we just have to undo all the cable management, which hopefully won't take too long, the way I've set it up. And that, my friends, is everything off, and because I've put Velcro on all these J channels, I can reuse all of them. But that table does actually come with its own built-in cable management system, so we may not even have to. That sure is a hell of a lot of cables though. Oh my god. And there you go, the ghetto IKEA LINNMON table is no more. Look at the fitment. That is nearly perfect over there. And of course we still have all this room to play with to build the new table and the new gaming setup. This is what it's all gonna look like. Of course it's like a 3-piece walnut table. Is that step one? That is step one. All right, let's do it. It definitely works. Oh my god. The fact that this is an L-shaped desk. Yo, look how high this goes. And it just clears the Go V lights as well. This is mad. This is wild. Just line that up. Perfect. And this literally opens up like that. And you have a drawer underneath your table. Man, this looks so clean. This would make a really nice desk for like an ultra wide, or maybe even a super ultra wide. 3 monitors though might be a little bit of a push. The subwoofer might fit here. It does. And then I spent a little bit of time doing the cable management for the setup, and I literally do mean a little bit of time. I have not used a single J channel. Check it out. It is not bad at all. Like literally, I've put no effort into this cable management whatsoever, and it's turned out looking this good. I mean, yes, up here is a jumbled spaghetti mess of cables. This is very, very bad, but you're never gonna see it. And to be fair, given how little effort I put into this and how quickly this was done, with literally only using a couple Velcro cable ties that I had laying around, and of course the built-in cable management system that perfectly fits an 8-socket power extension lead with everything else. All the power bricks are there, all of it. And I've managed to route everything through the cable grommets inside the desk. It's just really good cable management with no effort, with no additional things purchased. And then if we take a look back here, all the PC hardware is nicely cable managed. Everything goes underneath the subwoofer, and of course, through the little cable grommet there. However, we're not quite done because they've also sent over their 1.2 meter desk shelf and also the smaller version. We're gonna try both. I've got 3 27-inch monitors here and the Height Y60 PC case on the desk as well. Triple monitors, yes, it's a bit of a push, but you can just barely get away with it, I'd say, like just barely. That's not bad. That is not bad. That looks okay. However, the peripherals, oh, I don't know. I don't think they quite look right anymore because of the whole black and white theme that was sort of going on in the previous setup. These now look out of place. Maybe that's just me, but they don't quite look like they belong in the setup anymore. So maybe we should do a bit of a change. So I've gone ahead and swapped out my Black Widow version 4 Pro keyboard for the first generation Razer Huntsman Tournament Edition keyboard. And for the mouse, I've gone for the Razer Naga V2 Pro. I think this might be the new setup going forward. But what about that other desk shelf? Perhaps the smaller one would look a little bit more normal here, but I think it's gonna be a bit of a tight squeeze. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to pair the new mouse anyway. Well, whilst my PC blue screens, let's do an unboxing of the other desk shelf. You get all your tools. It is actually very well packaged. Like every one of their products that they've sent me so far, which is quite a few at this point, absolutely everything has come insanely well packaged. This is it. It's literally like the simplest thing ever to put together. You get your desk shelf, you get 2 legs. You drop the legs on the desk shelf like that.
On a single graphics card.
No, don't do that. So what I want to do is put the soundbar like in the middle here. Oh, it is actually off by a fair bit. 5 centimeters short to fit the Leviathan V2 Pro. Not to worry though. Bring this little guy out. Yo, look at that. That doesn't look too bad. Well, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I think this looks better. I think this genuinely looks a whole lot better. Yo, I gotta say, this is now looking so nice, but there are a couple problems. One of them is the Leviathan V2, unfortunately, is not quite as nice of a soundbar in terms of sound quality. The V2 Pro is leagues ahead. I'm gonna find a way to drill new holes and make this work. Speaking of soundbars and sound, I suppose, a volume wheel. Even though I love using a small form factor keyboard like this Huntsman Tournament Edition, the original one doesn't have a volume wheel. So I'm gonna add my own, which is like a USB powered one. So that's how the Leviathan V2 sits. And the V2 Pro, we gotta do some expansion. With the modification complete, this now perfectly sits. I think even as a desk shelf, this just looks nicer when the legs are a bit more spread out. That looks clean, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the setup, but I am loving the way this has turned out, especially with the color change as well. This table I don't think quite worked with the green, but with the orange and red and the walnut tabletops and the black frames, oh man, this just looks incredible. We've ended up squeezing the Leviathan V2 Pro soundbar in there. We've relocated a couple bits and pieces. We got the Aura ring charger, the mouse dock, the volume wheel here. This is just looking awesome. And not only have we added this desk shelf, of course, but we also have the integrated drawer that opens up this much, and it even folds open. So you could like rest your hands here and technically use this as like a keyboard tray. It is lovely, like genuinely very, very nice. However, when you have this desk drawer, you can't actually like squeeze your legs in here and like lower the table low enough to like line your head up with the top of the monitors. I can't do that. It's either I have to amputate my legs in order to make that happen, or I gotta ditch the drawer or ditch the desk shelf. It is an awesome thing to have and I really want to use it. Genuinely think it would work and make 1,000,000% more sense to be here instead of where you're actually sitting, like here would be perfect. But that I don't think is actually possible because of the metal frame that's like right here. I think I might have to relocate it elsewhere. I was genuinely shocked when I first started building the other furniture where the 3D printing station's sort of been relocated. And speaking of the 3D printing station, we actually used this Creality K1 Max 3D printer to make some risers for these desk shelves. And you may have seen them whilst I was building the desk shelves, but if you look underneath here, these plastic ABS parts here that are on each side of the table legs of the desk shelf have made it possible for us to install this soundbar underneath this desk shelf and still clear it by about 1 millimeter. It is pretty tight under there, but it very clearly fixes our problem and makes the soundbar very neatly fit underneath here. I'll leave the 3D print files in the video description down below in case you want to buy the same desk shelf and literally do the same setup. But if you get like a smaller, you know, not quite as tall of a soundbar, you should not have clearance issues. But if you do, just 3D print those guys and you're good to go. When they arrived, and I actually built a couple of them, I was really impressed by the quality, the soft closed drawers, all of it was just really well built. And at that point, I was genuinely just looking forward to building the rest of the gaming setup using the L-shaped desk they sent me. And dude, it was so easy to put together, took me hardly any time at all. And it's a freaking sit-stand electric desk that is this big, which is just mind-blowing. And I ended up finding the sit-stand function a lot more useful than I first thought I would. Because if you're just at your setup for a very short period of time and you just need to do something quickly, it's nice to just walk up to it, have it high up in the air and use it like that instead of always sitting down. And even though today's video is not technically sponsored by Vernal Space, they did send me all these products, but they haven't paid me anything to say, you know, anything good about their products. I could have been roasting these for all they know, but I've actually had a really good time using them and I would recommend them if you guys want a good sit-stand table. I've personally loved using their products so far. We've just been bombarded by cats all of a sudden, okay. Yeah, they have this table, all the cabinets and stuff I showed you, the desk shelves available in different colors. You don't just have to choose the walnut version. But if you want to find out more about my gaming setup and more specifically the soundbars that we ended up swapping around today, I actually made a dedicated comparison video comparing those two soundbars and seeing whether paying double the money for the Pro version is worth it. You can check that video out right here. It's genuinely one of the wildest soundbars, the Pro version at least, that I've ever tested in my life. It's kind of like a headset replacement, as crazy as that sounds.